We have some breaking news as you're watching CBS LA here. A special report is LA Mayor Karen Bass is about to announce how the city is preparing for this big winter storm, what it could bring, what you need to know to stay safe. She's beginning to speak. Let's listen in.
Prepare for the holidays. I am sending everyone, the people of Los Angeles, city employees, and everyone assembled here today, my wishes for a safe and happy holiday season and a Merry Christmas. And considering the weather, we also want to make sure that the holiday season is safe. Safety is of paramount concern this week because, as you know, we're expecting a strong winter storm with heavy rain and wind to begin tonight through Saturday, December 27th, with the National Weather Service anticipating the heaviest rainfall today, tomorrow, and on Christmas Day. A flash flood watch will go into effect today, December 23rd at 4 p.m. through 10 p.m. Christmas Day, Thursday, December 25th. Dr. Cohen will share more on this shortly. Under my direction, the city has positioned additional resources, including heavy-duty fire engines and swiftwater rescue teams, equipment and personnel to keep Angelenos safe and respond quickly to storm impacts. Our Emergency Operations Center is activated and city crews are on standby to respond to any fallen trees or impacts to roadways. My message to Angelenos as we go into the Christmas holiday is to stay safe, be prepared, and stay informed. We encourage you, if you can, to stay off the roads, especially tonight and through the afternoon of Christmas Eve. To unhoused Angelenos and Angelenos who might have relatives that are out there, we do have a limited number of vouchers, and people can call the mayor's help desk at 213-978-0600, 213-978-0600. If you have friends or family members that are unhoused, we have a limited number of vouchers, and there is a shelter set up on the west side. Please consider heading over to family, or if you're going out of town before the rain is set tonight. Staying off the roads whenever possible keeps you safe and frees up the lanes for our first responders and public work crews. In the burn scar areas, an evacuation warning and key evacuation orders are in effect. Chief McDonald will detail those. And I urge all Angelenos, please heed official guidance. We continue to maintain a proactive approach to bolstering vulnerable hillsides throughout Pacific Palisades from earlier this year, including sandbags and 13,000 feet of K-rail to protect against mudslides and flows. We have had a number of major storms this year, and I ask all Angelenos to take this one seriously during this holiday week. Now is the time to come together and make a plan on how you can safely spend time with loved ones over the holidays. As always, please call 911 for life-threatening situations. If you see flooding or fallen trees, please report by calling 311 and report any power outages at LADWP. Sign up for emergency alerts at notifyla.org. And now let me turn it over to the meteorologist in charge with the National Weather Service, Dr. Ariel Cohen.
Thank you very much, Mayor Bass. It was very critical information that Mayor Bass passed along that could save your life and those of your loved ones. Good day, everyone. I'm Dr. Ariel Cohen, and I'm the meteorologist in charge of the National Weather Service in Los Angeles, Oxnard. We're just several hours away from the onset of a major storm system that Mayor Bass had mentioned that's going to affect many Angelenos during the Christmas holiday. This is the type of storm system that affects the area approximately every 5 to 10 years or so. But what makes this storm unique is that the brunt of the rainfall is expected to occur right through Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. My bottom line point, if you're planning to be out on the roads during the Christmas holiday, please reconsider your plans. By the time we get to late Wednesday through Friday, many areas will likely be experiencing significant flooding along with rock slides and mudslides, especially through the high terrain and the canyon roadways. Now, right now, we're expecting multiple rounds of moderate to heavy rain to impact the area starting from late this evening and continuing on and off all the way through Friday. The heaviest rain will start late tonight and then will peak on Wednesday, Christmas Eve. The rain will taper off some Wednesday night, but another round of moderate to heavy rain is forecast to occur on Christmas Day, Thursday, and this rain could potentially last through Friday. All in all, for the storm total rainfall accumulations, we're expecting lower elevations, such as downtown Los Angeles and points southward, to pick up a total of 2 to 4 inches of rain. But as you go north and west into the Santa Monica Mountains, the San Fernando Valley, along with the San Gabriel Mountains and foothills, in addition to nearby northern portions of the Los Angeles Basin and the Hollywood Hills area, we're looking at a total of 4 to 8 inches of rain to occur through late week. In fact, some of our computer model projections indicate over a foot of rain falling in total over the mountains by the end of this week. Now, I want to clarify, all of this rain will not be falling all at once. Rainfall rates may only approach or marginally exceed the debris flow thresholds. So while debris flows on the burn scars will be possible, in general, they should be minor to moderate. However, with as much total rain as what we're expecting, widespread significant flooding will likely occur in urban and poor drainage areas, especially in and around the higher terrain. There will almost certainly be numerous rock slides and mudslides, along with areas of severe flooding in urban locations and along freeways, which is why being out on the roads will be exceptionally dangerous. Additionally, flooding of smaller creeks and streams, tributaries will be likely, and main stem river flooding will also be possible. And I want to specify that the flooding, rock slide, and mudslide dangers will grow at a gradual pace after the onset of the heavier rain tonight into tomorrow morning. Because this is a long duration event, it will take less and less rainfall to produce more and more impacts from flooding, rock slides, and mudslides as the week progresses, as the ground saturates during that time frame. So please don't assume that the danger is over just because we made it through the first round of heavier rain. Conditions will likely be deteriorating as we head through late week. Also, while downtown Los Angeles and areas across a large part of the LA basin may only experience isolated and minor to moderate flooding, you won't have to go too far into the northern parts of the LA basin and into the higher terrain to experience much more severe impacts. As for additional context from the National Weather Service, this is a rare designation of high risk that's used to categorize the expected rainfall and flooding impacts with this major storm system. A high-risk designation is rarely designated anywhere across the country and indicates high confidence that an exceptionally dangerous flood event is anticipated. Most flood-related damages and over a third of all of the nation's flood-related fatalities occur within the high-risk designated areas. So what you can do now is to prepare yourselves and your loved ones ahead of time. Stay indoors and off the roads if at all possible. Never drive through a flooded roadway. Turn around, don't drown. If you're in an area that's especially prone to flooding, rock slides, mudslides, or debris flows, please take the necessary precautions now to prepare yourself. The cost of being underprepared is often far greater than the cost of being overprepared. In addition, we are expecting areas of gusty winds to affect the region with the storm system, periodically affecting the greater Los Angeles area throughout the duration of the storm. While these winds alone may be capable of creating damage, downing trees and power lines, it's the combination of the strong winds and the heavy rains that will create an especially favorable environment for numerous downed trees and power lines. So if the winds suddenly pick up, or if you hear a severe weather warning from the National Weather Service, we recommend that you be indoors in a sturdy structure and on the lowest floor with as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Stay away from windows. Once again, dangerous weather is on the way from tonight through the Christmas holiday and into Friday. And on behalf of the National Weather Service, we will continue working closely with our core partners, including emergency management officials, as well as the mayor's office, to ensure that everyone has the latest information available on the evolving storm situation through the week. To all Angelenos, stay safe, stay aware, stay off the roads if you can, and take care. Thank you for having me, and I'm going to pass it now to Chief Moore.
Thank you, Dr. Cohen. Good afternoon, everybody. To reiterate what Mayor Bass and Dr. Cohen have expressed, all of us have been monitoring this incoming winter storm due to its severity and its timing. I must stress to everyone to be alert and to be prepared. This storm is coming to Los Angeles, and it's coming with some force. The Los Angeles City Fire Department has taken its precautions, and we've increased our staffing levels beginning at 6 a.m. this morning, and strategically pre-deployed specialized resources at locations throughout the city. The pre-deployed resources go as follows. We have a strike team, what we call 1880 Charlie, consisting of a 22-member, 5 Type 3 off-road capable fire engines that are led by a battalion chief staffing at Fire Station 59 in West Los Angeles. We've got a Type 1 dozer and a loader staged at Fire Station 88, which is near the Sepulveda Basin. And we've got a Type 1 heavy urban search and rescue team and consisting of 6 individuals staged at Fire Station 59 in West Los Angeles. These are specially trained individuals who are trained in urban search and rescue that can help if we have structures that are damaged or by trees or mud flow debris. We've got a Type 2 helicopter with a full crew that will respond to swiftwater rescues staged at our Air Operations Center located in the Van Nuys Airport. We've got 3 Type 3 swiftwater teams, which are highly trained units dedicated to rescuing victims in fast-moving water. Remember, it doesn't take much more than 6 inches of water for people to be swept off their feet, so be very careful. Our swiftwater rescue teams will be staged at the following locations: at Fire Station 44 in Los Feliz, at Fire Station 88 in Fire Station 89, which are in the San Fernando Valley. Additionally, we've augmented our staffing resources for the next 24 hours. Those resources include an additional battalion chief, 2 additional members of our urban search and rescue team on Team 88, 4 brush patrols in the hillside areas, a Helco officer, 2 unmanned aircraft system operators. We also have our CERT teams that are stationed at Fire Stations 43, 59, 83, and 84. Those are community individuals who volunteer their time to be here for our community. Through the city's Emergency Operations Center, we've been working together to monitor all these conditions. We're continuing to monitor conditions and have been in contact with our regional partners to coordinate preparedness and response efforts in order to deploy resources as needed throughout not only Los Angeles, but the region. We urge residents to park their vehicles away from tall trees and also assume that power lines can come down. These power lines, when they do come down, consider them energized and do not approach them. They can be extremely dangerous. Due to the potential for coastal flooding and dangerous marine conditions, residents are strongly advised to stay away from the coastline during the storm. Flooding can occur quickly and unexpectedly. It is important to avoid rivers, flood control channels, and drainage areas. Please warn your children. Tell them to stay away from the water, to not be curious, even if the water levels seem low. Free sandbags are available at all of our fire stations, and sand is available at select fire stations. Please visit www.lafd.org to find your local fire station and to be able to contact them in order to confirm sandbags are available before you go out onto the road. If you must travel during the storm, we urge you to use caution and to plan ahead. But please avoid any unnecessary travel. And I know this is difficult during the holidays. This storm is expected to cause flooding, and the roadways, even though you might be familiar with them, may be affected by high levels of water. It could cause freeway closures, airport delays, which may unfortunately lead to cancellations over the holidays. Please monitor your apps to find out if your flights have been affected. Your LAFD is prepared and ready to respond as this storm arrives here in Los Angeles. Safety must be our #1 priority throughout the city of Los Angeles, so we ask everybody, please stay informed, monitor the news channels, monitor your apps, listen to the radio, and take this storm seriously. Thank you very much. I will now turn it over to our Police Chief, Jim McDonald.
Well, thank you, and good afternoon, and thank you all for being here. The City of Los Angeles is preparing, as you heard, for a significant storm system expected to arrive this afternoon. Our top priority is keeping all of our community members safe. Due to the increased risk of mud and debris flows, the city has issued a mandatory evacuation order for specific properties considered vulnerable to safety risk, with a significant portion of those properties located within the Pacific Palisades burn zone. This order went into effect this morning at 11 o'clock and will remain in effect until Thursday evening at 11 p.m. We recognize that this is an incredibly difficult time to leave your homes. The Christmas holiday is a time for family, celebration, and togetherness. However, the threat posed by this storm is real and imminent. We urge you to act now. If your home is within the impacted area, please evacuate immediately. Take your family, pets, medications, important documents, and any essentials that you may need. If someone in your household requires extra time or assistance, please begin that process without delay. Some of the feedback we've gotten is that many of the people, probably most of the people in the evacuation area, have thanked us for the notification, but chosen not to leave. I would ask you to seriously reconsider that. When we look at what's coming our way, and we have the expert right behind me here, Dr. Cohen, I would seriously urge you to reconsider that thought. Last night, LAPD officers from West LA, Hollywood, and Mission divisions worked to notify residents at 126 properties identified as vulnerable with safety risks. Our officers went door to door announcing their presence, distributing evacuation information, and documenting every effort they made. That process is now complete, and the LAPD will continue to monitor conditions throughout the storm, ready to assist whenever and wherever needed. For shelter information, for those who need shelter or relief services, the City of Los Angeles has opened Stoner Recreation Center, which is located at 1835 Stoner Ave in West Los Angeles. That's Stoner Avenue, just south of Santa Monica Boulevard. As this storm intensifies, the safest place is indoors. Please avoid unnecessary travel, and if you must drive, do so with extreme caution. Stay alert, avoid distractions, and allow extra time to be able to reach your destination. Mud and debris flows can occur suddenly and become life-threatening with very little warning. If you experience an emergency, call 911 immediately. Keep in mind the following, that we're entering a period of increased roadway activity and congestion due to holiday travel, and unfortunately this season also sees a rise in impaired driving incidents. We urge everyone to make responsible choices, do not drive under the influence, and look out for one another, particularly when traveling along our roadways. Let's work together to keep our community safe this holiday season. Please drive sober and stay alert. LAPD officers will be out in greater numbers to ensure that everybody gets home safely. I want to thank our partners in this effort, the Mayor's Office, the Los Angeles Fire Department, city and county agencies. This is a coordinated effort to protect every member of every community. Closing these evacuations is real, and the time now. Your loved ones. We'll continue to provide updates as conditions evolve, and thank you for, again, your consideration, and please stay safe. Let me open it up now for any questions you might have.
Okay, so they're now taking questions, but bottom line and the main message coming from the city of LA, these emergency officials, you heard from Mayor Karen Bass, we have dangerous weather on the way. And Mayor Bass was there with the fire chief, with the chief of police, talking about this major storm, the severe flooding, the brunt of it coming tomorrow, Christmas Eve. But we're also going to see that heavy rain today and overnight. As of 6 a.m., the city and the fire chief, LAFD, deploying all those additional resources from fire engines to their swiftwater rescue teams that are now in place with the heavy equipment, with the helicopter crew. So they say that they are prepared for this storm and the potential dangers and the risks that it may bring. They were all speaking from inside their emergency operations center that is now open and activated. You also have city crews. With this rain will be heavy winds. So city crews will be out there watching for fallen trees and power lines. But really another message coming from city leaders, please stay off the roads if you can. With increased holiday travel, it just is a greater risk of deadly and bad crashes happening out there, as roads will be flooded from this in the days to come, especially in those burn scar areas. You already have evacuation warnings and orders in effect right now for the Palisades burn scar. They have 13,000 feet of K-rail set up, remaining in place to protect against any debris flows, but they do expect to see still rock slides, mudslides, and a lot of flooding out there in those burn scar areas. So sign up for those emergency alerts and be prepared, stay safe. Of course, we will have the latest on CBS LA at 4 and 5 p.m. We will see you then.